Law preventing him from having his party listed on November ballots is returning to court. A judge scheduled a Wake County hearing today to consider a request by candidate Chris Anglin and a lower court candidate also fighting the law finalized by GOP lawmakers earlier this month. 3 people were shot. One of fight erupted after a party on Sunday in Concord. The police say that Willie Clark Peck III of Salisbury was killed. Dora Delatorre heard the shots.
It's horrible. Ladies was screaming and crying, and we say maybe somebody died. It's awful.
North Carolina's 5 living former governors are meeting to oppose constitutional amendments on the November ballots that would swing power involving the judicial vacancies and state boards from the executive branch to the legislature. Democrats Jim Hunt, Mike Easley, and Beverly Perdue, and also Republicans Jim Martin and Pat McCrory are holding a news conference today in Raleigh. Gasoline prices may drop according to market analyst Trilby Lundberg. The trend will stem from lower demand and drop in oil prices.
Unless there should be a reversal with crude oil prices jumping up, probably we'll see pump prices drop from here.
You're listening to NCN News.
This Fraud Watch Alert is brought to you by AARP North Carolina. Recently, sham veterans charities are bilking patriotic donors out of millions of dollars. North Carolina fraud fighters urge you to donate wisely. Before you give, visit ncsos.gov to make sure a charity that claims to support veterans and military families is licensed and legitimate. Learn more about charity scams and other cons by signing up for free AARP Watchdog Alerts at aarp.org/NC Protect.
Darlington Raceway. This is tradition.
The white flag flies for Bobby Allison.
This is iconic.
Petty appears to be smoking, and Gale now is pulling away.
This is legendary.
Truex is at the wall, and it's Hamlin going to the lead.
Come celebrate 7 decades of NASCAR at Darlington Raceway this Labor Day weekend. Purchase your tickets today by calling 866-459-RACE or visit darlingtonraceway.com.
South Carolina is just right.
A 2.4 magnitude quake hit the area near Blowing Rock. The quake happened around 5:46 a.m. on Sunday. A 2.4 magnitude quake would be felt only in an area near the epicenter and would cause no damage. There are still many questions surrounding the theft of a commercial airliner on Friday by an employee of SeaTac Airport. CBS News' John Shumo says they include how he had the technical knowledge to get the plane off the ground.
Captain Ross Amer is a retired United Airlines pilot. He told CBS this morning there wasn't anything stopping Russell, a Horizon Air ground crew member for 3.5 years, from getting to the plane as an employee.
I was quite surprised that a person that claims to have had only background in video games was able to start this airplane, taxi it out, and actually take off and do those maneuvers.
August is Children's Eye Care and Safety Month. Dr. Sharon Freeman at the Duke Eye Center in Durham says many kids are involved in sports which place their eyes at risk.
And I highly recommend the use of approved children's sports glasses. These don't have to be expensive. The lens material is made out of a very strong plastic called polycarbonate.
Fall is coming early if you're one of those who love pumpkin spice.
Fall in August? Starbucks is reportedly ushering in its pumpkin spice lattes even earlier this year. They're coming Tuesday, August 28th, which is about 1 week earlier than in previous years. Business Insider says it reviewed the company's internal documents. This will be the first year that Starbucks has launched the pumpkin spice latte in August since 2014 when the drink debuted. The company says it's the most popular seasonal beverage of all time. Matt Piper, CBS News.
AM 590 WCAB Rutherfordton with FM translator service on W265DW at 100.9.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Trump administration officials now weighing legal options after former advisor to the president, Omarosa Manigault-Newman, went public with a secret recording she says she made in the White House. Here's ABC's Liz Herr.
Omarosa Manigault-Newman, during her appearance on NBC's Meet the Press, says she secretly recorded Chief of Staff John Kelly firing her in the Situation Room. I protected myself because this is a White House where everybody lies.
In her new book, Unhinged, Omarosa also claims 3 people told her about a recording of President Trump using the N-word on the set of The Apprentice. The prosecution is expected to rest today in the federal trial of former Trump campaign chair Paul Manafort. No word yet on whether the defense will call Manafort to the stand. Investigators have found key evidence after the crash of a plane stolen from Seattle's airport, the flight data recorder and parts of the cockpit voice recorder. Here's ABC's Alex Stone.
The cockpit data recorder is being flown back to Washington, D.C. today. The so-called black box that was found over the weekend, it was intact, we're told, by the NTSB, but it was charred. The box will be analyzed by both the NTSB and the FBI as they try to piece together how and why baggage handler Richard Russell carried out his suicide mission.
There is a deal for a summit between North and South Korea.
The chairman of North Korea's reunification committee says the time has come to move ahead. That means meeting number 3 for the South Korean president and the North Korean leader in the next few weeks, this time in Pyongyang. The exact date has not been announced. In a statement, both sides say they've been reviewing ways to set up agreements made at past summits.
That's ABC's Tom Rivers at the Forum Desk. Minnesota Democratic Congressman Keith Ellison is now facing accusations of physical and emotional abuse. His former girlfriend confirms reports he sent hundreds of abusive texts, screamed a profanity at her, and dragged her off a bed. This is ABC News.
Oil and gas investments involve a high degree of risk and are suitable only for qualified SEC-accredited investors. If you're an SEC-defined accredited investor getting ready to do your taxes and wish you had more deductions, you can take action now and start planning for 2018 with a 100% IRS-approved deduction. Invest with Encore Energy. If you're a high-net-worth SEC-defined accredited investor who's interested in participating directly with a proven operator and are qualified to make an investment of at least $250,000, then please call Encore Energy. 800-803-8511. 800-803-8511. Is your computer slowing down?
Yep, I guess I need a new one.
Wait before you waste your money on a new computer. Go to mycleanpc.com and get a free computer diagnosis. In minutes, you can activate MyCleanPC software to clean out the junk that could be putting your privacy at risk. Unwanted pop-ups, errors, or spam not only slow your computer down, they may allow third parties to track your activities. Go to mycleanpc.com for a free computer diagnostic. Increase your computer speed today with mycleanpc.com.
Calm has returned to the Israeli border with Gaza. Militants last week fired hundreds of rockets into southern Israel. Here's ABC's Jordana Miller.
Israeli officials say they have not agreed to a ceasefire with Hamas despite the quiet along the Gaza border. The UN and Egypt are still trying to broker a short and long-term agreement. Prime Minister Netanyahu says he wants a complete ceasefire that is not just no rockets, but no violent border protests and no incendiary balloons. But Netanyahu has also indicated Israel is preparing for a wider operation in Gaza. He said the IDF is, quote, ready. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
University of Maryland head football coach DJ Durkin has been placed on administrative leave along with 3 staffers during an investigation into the death of a player who collapsed during a workout. Here's ESPN's Heather Dinich.
What we learned along the way was just a culture of humiliation, verbal abuse, and questioning players' masculinity, and just several instances and anecdotes after anecdote about how these players were put in positions to go beyond what they were physically capable of doing.
Progress in fighting the California wildfires. The Holy Fire burning south of L.A. is now over 50% contained. Parts of Yosemite National Park, which were closed last month because of fires, are starting to reopen today. This is ABC News.
Is your computer slowing down?
Yep, I guess I need a new one.
Wait before you waste your money on a new computer. Go to mycleanpc.com and get a free computer diagnosis. In minutes, you can activate MyCleanPC software to clean out the junk that could be putting your privacy at risk. Unwanted pop-ups, errors, or spam not only slow your computer down, they may allow third parties to track your activities. Go to mycleanpc.com for a free computer diagnostic. Increase your computer speed today with mycleanpc.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Well, it's early deer season coming into play right now. Deer season has arrived, and Oakland Feed and Seed is ready if you're ready for it. They got all you need: buck jam, buck forage oats, and they also have 6-way deer forage mix, 5-way deer forage mix, winter peas, molasses, 1 gallon and 2.5 gallons, chicory, deer greens, dried molasses. Just come and take a look, and you'll be ready for your deer season extravaganza. So come check with them at Oakland Feed and Seed, your best source for deer hunting supplies. Also, just get ready. Grass season is coming soon, and they can equip you with 17-17-17 fertilizer, 10-10-10 fertilizer, K31 fescue, 5-star turf fescue, and a lot of other things, including food for your pets, your birds, and all the things you need for your animals, all at one shop. Oakland Feed and Seed. It's a tradition in Rutherford County to do business with home folks. So you'll see Scott and his team over there at Oakland Feed and Seed, Oakland Road in Spindale.
We'll have some areas of low cloudiness and a few pockets of fog early on today. Otherwise, we'll look for partly to mostly sunny skies developing, and we'll run a little less humid than the last day or two. We have just a slight chance of a late-day thunder shower. A lot of places dry, with highs about 82 to 88. Tonight will be mostly fair and mild, with lows in the mid to upper 60s. Then on Tuesday, more sun than clouds, a little bit warmer, but not real humid. Highs tomorrow around 85 to 90. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
We're starting out this morning cloudy skies and 66 degrees, warming up to about 87 before it's all over with, and only a slight chance of an afternoon shower, only about 30%. Now, it clears out of here tonight, mostly clear tonight, lows around 66, exactly where we are right now. Then tomorrow, no rain in that forecast, and Wednesday, no rain in that forecast. It starts increasing a little bit on Thursday with 20%, 30% on Friday, and 30% Saturday, and 20% on Sunday. So the week looks pretty good. Probably good enough to get some grass cut. Since we don't have goats to chew that up, we have to dig it out again. Grass is pretty high out there today. Again, right now, 66 degrees. Welcome this morning, everybody. We welcome you to the morning wake-up call hour number 2. I have these death announcements. Mr. Wayne Geddes, 71 of Bostic, died Sunday. Those arrangements are incomplete and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services for Mr. Wayne Geddes. Fred M. Hutchins, 84 of Bostic, died Friday at his residence. The funeral service will be conducted at 11 o'clock today at Gants Grove Baptist Church. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Fred M. Hutchins. Elbert Earl Holland, Jr., 54 of Forest City, passed away Thursday at Hospice of the Carolinas Foothills. A celebration of life will be held 5:30 today at Crow's Mortuary, with family receiving friends from 4 until 5:30 prior to the service. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Albert Earl Holland, Jr. Mrs. Marie Mary Williams Gilbert, age 76, passed away Tuesday, August 7th at Hospice of the Carolinas Foothills in Landrum. A celebration of Marie's life will be held 4 p.m. Saturday, August the 18th at Pleasant Grove Baptist Church in Polk County. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Mary Williams Gilbert. Alice Chenoweth Collins Lehner, age 81 of Rutherfordton, died Sunday, August 5th at St. Joseph's Hospital in Asheville. A memorial service will be held 2 o'clock Tuesday, August 14th. It'll be tomorrow in the Pageant at King Chapel. Burial of her ashes will follow in the Cool Springs Cemetery. Visitation will be from 1 to 2 o'clock prior to the service at the mortuary. The Pageant at King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Alice Chenoweth Collins Lehner. Those are the death announcements we have this morning in-house. To hear the complete information of these and others as they come to us, be sure to tune in this morning at 11:30. And again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report, we'll have the complete information on these and others as they come available to us. Information for you right here on WCAB, 100.9 FM and 590 AM in Rutherfordton from the Foothills Leading Information Center. We're being kind today to Martha Hauser. She lives up in Golden Valley and is retired and celebrating a birthday today.
United Airlines made a tough call this month when they told a passenger traveling from Newark to Los Angeles that she would have to leave her emotional support service animal behind. The passenger had a ticket for Dexter the Peacock, but United said, no way. Now, a 21-year-old college student's in the news over an incident that occurred last November. She was flying from Baltimore to her home in South Florida to take care of a medical issue. She had with her Pebbles, her dwarf hamster, which is part of the gerbil family, was going to provide emotional support for her. Now, when Spirit Airlines refused passage for the rodent, the student says she tried unsuccessfully to rent a car. After agonizing for several hours, the student claims that she followed advice from Spirit representatives and took Pebbles to the women's restroom. The student says she was scared, and so was Pebbles. Pebbles didn't know where he was going to end up, with good reason. So Pebbles was put in the toilet, and the toilet was flushed. It's bye-bye Pebbles. And after the deed was done, the student said she sat crying for 10 minutes in the stall and then flew home. Now, Spirit says they never told her to flush the animal down the toilet. They do admit the student was originally told that her hamster would be allowed to travel. As for the peacock, he should thank his lucky stars he can't fit in the toilet. Now, folks, do with this what you will, but all of it did happen. Really.
Hey guys, pardon the advertising interruption to your radio program. Do yourself a favor and please listen carefully. If you have tried or wanted to try Viagra or other male prescriptions in the last few years, you need to hear about Noxitril, the super pill that will transform your performance in the bedroom forever. You see, Noxitril has been formulated and developed in U.S. FDA labs, and it's the real deal. Noxitril works, period. Strong, explosive results that increase blood flow fast. And best of all, there are no side effects like prescription meds. After years of research, the developers of Noxitril got it right. This remarkable pill is off the charts. Right now, we encourage you to take advantage of our incredible free bottle offer. So what are you waiting for? Noxitril. It's that good.
Call now and find out how to get a free bottle of Noxitril while supplies last. Call 1-800-605-1673. That's 800-605-1673. Free bottles for a limited time, so call now. 800-605-1673. That's 800-605-1673.
From the county seat in Rutherfordton to the foothills of the Carolinas, you're listening to the best of both worlds. 100.9 FM and 590 AM. WCAB.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata. If you have a disability or a chronic illness, you've probably been told that exercise could help you feel better. And if you have diabetes, listen up. The American Diabetes Association has put together new recommendations on physical activity and exercise. Recent studies have shown that you can improve your blood sugar levels by interrupting prolonged sitting every 30 minutes. All it takes is 3 minutes or more of standing or light intensive activity like overhead arm stretches or walking in place or extending your legs out. So, if you're at work, stretch out your legs while you answer that phone. And if you're in a wheelchair like me, ask your caregivers to help you. It's a simple step toward a healthier you. For more health tips on living well with a chronic illness, visit disabilitycampaign.org. Again, that's disabilitycampaign.org.
More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year. And if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com. The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304.
The date was August 12, 1881. Newton Clanton, also known as Old Man Clanton, and 6 other cowboys were camping at Guadalupe Pass near the Arizona-New Mexico border. Late at night, 2 of the cowboys were awakened by the cattle stirring around. Mexican soldiers had surrounded the camp. Standing to investigate the noise, 1 cowboy was immediately shot. 4 others, including Old Man Clanton, were killed while still in their bedroll. The other 2 men escaped. As with many events that took place in the Old West, when investigated, the simple became complicated. The 1st of August, about 25 cowboys conducted some raids in Mexico. A little while later, a group of Mexican vaqueros came across the border to round up the cattle that had been stolen from them. On their way back, they encountered 25 cowboys near Guadalupe Pass. There's a lot of speculation about this event. Some say Old Man Clanton and his handful of cowboys were part of a group of 25. Others say that they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. There are those who say the Clanton gang was comprised of rustlers and outlaws. But interestingly, Old Man Clanton had never been charged with any crime. There are also those who say Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday conducted the August 12 raid. That's in doubt, since both survivors say it was Mexican soldiers. There is also speculation that if Old Man Clanton had lived, he may have been able to keep control of his clan and been able to avoid that shootout at the OK Corral. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
All right, it's 16 minutes after 7 o'clock, and the Braves had a pretty good weekend over the weekend. Saturday, the Braves beat the Brewers beat the Braves 4-2. They came back on Sunday. The Braves beat the Brewers 8-7, and the Braves had beaten the Brewers on Friday 10-1. So they had a pretty good series tonight. This afternoon, they have a doubleheader against Miami, 1:35 and 6:20. We'll join that Braves following Rush Limbaugh. Now here is Deputy Walker on the phone with us from the Sheriff's Department to get us started with our morning report. Good morning. How you doing?
Good, sir. Good morning to you.
Good. What's on the report?
On the report, the last 48 hours, the Sheriff's Office responded to 271 calls for service. 15 arrests were made, and jail currently housing 197 individuals. Starting with incident and investigation reports, Edwin Richardson reported a misdemeanor larceny. Jacob Edgerton reported an assault by pointing a gun. Aaron Stewart reported financial card fraud. Melissa Day reported a misdemeanor larceny. And Charles Alley reported a misdemeanor larceny. I only have 2 arrest reports to read, and that is Ishmael Trejo was arrested for assault on a female, and Yvonne Dimsdale was arrested for misuse of 911 system and communicating threats. And that's all, sir.
David Walker, thank you so much for that report. You'll be safe out there today.
I will. Thank you, sir.
All right, see you. Bye-bye. That's a report from the weekend from the Sheriff's Department, 18 minutes at now past 7.
Gregory's Original Restaurant in the Park Lane Plaza is the perfect dining choice of Rutherford County. Greg offers all your favorite dishes. Try their delicious subs, grinders, pasta, chicken, burgers, fresh garden salads, and the most delicious steaks served with mushroom gravy or peppers and onions. Be sure to call on Gregory's for all your catering needs at 287-2171. Check out the website for menus and event information, www.gregorysoriginal.com. Gregory's in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton.
Here's Carrie now with the 911 Communications Center report for this Monday. Carrie, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's on your report from the weekend?
In the past 48 hours, Rutherford County Communications Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 722 911 administrative calls. EMS had 71. Rescue had 20. Under law enforcement, Sheriff's Office has 271, Bar City 135, Lake Lure 23, Rutherfordton 52, Findale 99. Under fire calls, Bills Creek responded to a motor vehicle accident, Baltic responded to a motor vehicle accident, SDO responded to a motor vehicle accident, Fairfield responded to a motor vehicle accident. Rutherfordton responded to a structure fire assisted by Green Hill and Union Mills. And that was all we had.
All right, thanks so much for that report. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. You know, you may not need a hearing instrument, but it also is important that you check that out. If you're recognizing that hearing is not as sharp as it used to be, maybe it's time to have that free Miracle Ear hearing test rendered by Lisa Terry at the Miracle Ear office. Find out what's going on in there. It may not be anything at all, but it may be early symptoms of hearing loss. And if that's the case, start moving in the direction of doing something about it. They've got some amazing pieces of equipment there. So small anymore, you hardly know they're there, but boy, can you hear. Hear that special someone whisper something special to you that you've been missing? Be a part of the conversation again. Miracle Ear, a hearing instrument made especially for you. Call Lisa at Miracle Ear at 447-7716. Miracle Ear. Find out more about that miracle. Here's Ruby Taylor now with the Danieltown SDO report. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
Well, the fire department had one call, and that was to a vehicle accident. And I don't have any birthdays today, and the signs are in the boughs today and go into the rains tomorrow. And, Jim, that's all I've got.
Ruby, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that was some shootings over the weekend, and Lou Gillum has that report for us this morning.
AM 59 WCAB Rutherfordton. I'm Lou Gillum with an update on the shooting incident on Lakeview Drive. On August 8th, 2018 at 12:11 a.m., the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office Communications Center received a 911 call about a shooting at 175 Lakeview Drive in Forest City. When deputies arrived on the scene, they located a deceased 46-year-old male in the residence with 2 gunshot wounds. Detectives with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office arrived at the scene shortly thereafter and began the investigation. In addition to the deceased male, the other residents of the house were Chandra Neerman, the deceased male's girlfriend, as well as Neerman's 12-year-old son and her 2 daughters, ages 15 and 16. All 5 had recently moved to the area from Indiana. The investigation determined that on the night of August the 8th, the deceased male attacked Neerman and was assaulting and strangling her. During the assault, the deceased male was yelling that he was going to cut Neerman's throat and kill everyone in the house. Neerman's 12-year-old son retrieved a firearm, and Neerman's 15-year-old daughter took the gun from her brother and fired it twice, striking the deceased male in the chest. One of the fired rounds fragmented, grazing Neerman's 16-year-old daughter in the leg. The 16-year-old was taken to Spartanburg Regional Hospital, later released on Thursday. Neerman suffered significant bruises and contusions from the assault. The investigation also revealed that the deceased male had threatened Neerman several times previously, and on Saturday, August the 4th, had assaulted Neerman and fired multiple rounds from a firearm inside the residence to threaten and terrorize Neerman. The investigation further revealed that the deceased male, who had multiple firearms in the house and frequently carried one on his person, was a convicted felon and had 2 active domestic violence protective orders against him from 2 different women in Indiana and Ohio, although no domestic violence or assaults had been reported to law enforcement locally prior to the fatal shooting. The deceased male has been positively identified as Stephen Kelly, originally from Indiana. On August 10th, Lieutenant Jamie Keever presented the case to District Attorney Ted Bell, Assistant District Attorney David Norris, and Assistant District Attorney Ken Swab. Based on the facts and the evidence, it is the conclusion of the District Attorney's Office that the shooting was justified and no charges will be filed. In another incident in McDowell County, parents are facing manslaughter charges after a son's friend accidentally kills himself. Detective Paul Akir of the McDowell County Sheriff's Office charged 50-year-old Kimberly Cable and 46-year-old Roger Dale Cable, both of 86 Reed Street in Marion, with involuntary manslaughter and failure to store a firearm to protect a minor. In the early morning hours of Friday, July the 27th, Kyle Storm Lee, age 16, of 97 Dusty Arch Drive in Marion, was at the Cable home on Reed Street visiting the couple's son. Lee was playing around with a .44 caliber revolver that belonged to the Cables and fatally shot himself in the head. There were numerous guns in the house, said Alkir. The juveniles had easy access to the guns, which was negligent on the suspect's part, and that led to a death. That, according to the report. Other than the access to the firearm, no additional foul play is suspected in Lee's death. For WCAB News, I'm Lou Gillum.
Thanks very much, Lou. Appreciate that report. It's 25 now past 7 o'clock. Let's head up to a rumbling ball and talk with Steve. See if they survived the weekend. Steve, how you doing? How you feeling, man?
I've got some rest, so we're good there. It was quite an event. We were injury-free, to my knowledge.
Good.
But somebody did get not related to the Olympiad. Somebody actually went off an embankment on a bicycle.
Oh, no.
And, it's just ironic, and that person had to be life flighted out of here. And it was well after the Olympiad was over. I don't know. Yeah, so,
What part of the mountain did that happen?
The West Lake Drive over here, off our private lake.
Oh, okay.
So they have some pretty deep embankments. So it's and I don't know any follow-up on that individual. But we were otherwise injury-free. Sunday I can't speak for. I'll hear more about that later. But the Friday and Saturday we came through okay. Our general manager participated in the 5K. He did well. So we're all good.
Good. Well, that many people in town, that many activities, it is amazing that no injuries were reported.
Yes. We were fortunate. We certainly try to guard for those, and we got a lot of volunteers that try to keep those kinds of things from happening, and they did an outstanding job this year.
Good.
So, and as every year, but sometimes you just can't help. Sometimes things are going to happen. But we did well, and it was a great event, and now we can look forward to Dirty Dancing in a couple of weeks, I think, and that's going to be up to the public. So
that's the one you're participating in, right?
That's the one I'm kind of staying in the background. I'm that guy in the background. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yes, sir. But yeah, so it is what it is. We'll have fun with it. Other than that, I think we're get close to normal.
All right. Well, I hope today's going to be a good one for you, and slow down a little bit so you can catch up on your breath.
Yeah, and I think school starts back up, about Wednesday for at least the Classical Academy here in Lake Lure in the middle of the week. Yeah. And I don't know about the other schools, but I'm sure we're right there.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yes, sir. So watch out for those school buses. They're going to start popping up.
That's right. Exactly right.
So.
All right, Steve. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply in Rutherfordton has garden supplies including vegetable plants, seeds, shrubs, and more. Mulch available by the bag or scoop. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply is now the authorized dealer for Mantis Tillers and Mary Tillers. Check with Farmer's Friend for details. Get your propane grill tanks filled. 20 pounds, only $10.99. There's much more. Stop by for springtime. 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, Saturdays until 2.
I told my friend about Olmsted Plumbing, and boy, was she happy.
What did she have to say?
I told her to call 245-7302, and they would get right out there.
And did she say she would
I told her to ask around. Homeowners, builders, and everybody likes Olmsted. Eric and Chad Olmsted and their team understand the homeowners' needs, and I like that.
They have an inventory of replacement parts and specialized equipment and tools for any job.
I told her that, too.
Well, what was that number again?
245-7302. That's 245.
Yeah, I got it. 245-7302. Olmsted Plumbing. And be sure this week you stop by Washburn General Store there in the Bostic, on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. You'll find all kinds of things. If you need new overalls, honey, tomatoes, they got stick candy, wind chimes, those new shipment of straw hats, and Outback rough leather hats. That's very popular right now. You can find all of that. Still in ice cream making business, too. Electric and hand-turned ice cream freezers are available at Washburn Store. It's a great place, good folks, and you'll enjoy your visit every time between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. Now let's head up toward the Hudlow Volunteer Fire District over there. And Bob Hodge, good morning.
Well, good Monday morning.
Yes, sir. How you doing today?
Oh, we're doing good up here this morning. That sun's coming up right through the treetops this morning. And
all right, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty dry day for the next couple of days anyway there, so not too much chance of rain. So,
that's good.
Everybody can get out and mow the grass today.
Well, I'm gonna need a big old mower to get mine cut, I'm afraid.
I'm going to need me a billy goat or something there. That rain makes it grow fast there.
Oh, boy, it does, yeah.
And Jim, up here with the fire department, it's been pretty quiet over the weekend and over the night, too. We answered a few medical calls over the weekend and hadn't had any phone calls during the night, so that's good. I want to say happy birthday to Mother Hauser this morning. And, Jim, that's about it up here in our neck of the woods this morning. Things are running along good, and maybe it'll stay that way.
I hope so, Bob. I appreciate you looking at things for us, and thanks for the report this morning. Have a great day.
You have a good day.
Thanks. 7:30 this Monday morning as we roll right along and get you more information, more news. We'll check with our next resource in just a moment. But right now, though, let me remind you about this.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for a city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
Well, Southern Carpet is noted for helping your dreams come true. You can do that if you're looking for sprucing things up around your house and finding new ways of beauty and comfort and something you and the kids and everybody will enjoy. That may be new carpet, new floor covering. Well, Southern Carpet can help you make that dream come true. Residential and commercial. Carpets, hardwood, laminate, ceramic tile, luxury vinyl, sheer vinyl, all at one location. That's Southern Carpet. They're proud and offer American-made products whenever possible, too. So you'll be good to shop local and shop at good home folks and buy American-made products when you can. That's Southern Carpet over in Forest City. Now here's Sue Price, I believe it is. Is that right, Sue?
That's right.
You live over in the Cherry Mountain section, right?
I do.
Good. Now tell us what's going on over there.
Well, as far as I know, it's been quiet over here. I didn't have any calls from the fire department, so that's a good thing. They stay busy, though, doing training and everything, so we appreciate all of them. And I'm starting off this morning at 66 degrees, so that's a nice morning out there. And looks like we're going to have maybe a few good days without rain. That'll be good. We've had a lot of rain. But anyway, that's a good thing, too, because we've seen times when it was too dry. Well, let's see. I have one anniversary on my church calendar for Jim and Frida Nolan, so I hope they'll have a good day. And on my personal calendar, a birthday for Martha Hauser. And Fairview has anniversaries for Kelly and Harriet Yelton and Neil and Joy Van Dyke. So happy anniversary to those folks. And First Broad has birthdays for Martha Hauser and Jenny Owens. So we hope all those that are celebrating will have a good day today and enjoy their special day. In my announcements, the Hopewell Hollis Clubhouse, there will be a chopped sirloin steak dinner at Hopewell Hollis Clubhouse, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's August the 18th. Takeouts available. Adults $10, children 6 to 12 $5, and under 6 is free. And it's sponsored by the Ruatan Club. So come on out and enjoy a good dinner there at Hopewell Hollis Clubhouse. And the Golden Valley Community Club is having a fundraiser raffle. Tickets are $10, and you have 3 chances to win. The drawing date is September the 8th, and the prizes are a Rudger 1020, a Mossberg M500, and a Taurus Judge. Those don't mean anything to me, but I'm sure they do to the hunters. That's guns. And your ticket, $10 ticket, gives you a chance on all 3 of these. If you are drawn for the first prize, you put your ticket back. They'll put your ticket back in and be drawn for the second and also for the third. So if somebody's really lucky, they could win all 3 of those guns. And you do not have to be present to win. 3 chances on those. And so far, that's the only announcement I have, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over here, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Well, we want to send out congratulations to Sherry at her big award. I mean, she was honored statewide, wasn't she?
Well, I haven't been able to talk to her since they got back. She and Neva came back kind of late, I think, but that's wonderful. She's wonderful. She does a brilliant job with her florist.
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook where she recognized as a state winner, I believe, or something like that. So
yeah,
we congratulate her on her good work.
Sure.
So you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, Jim.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. Now we'll check it up at Union Mills, upstate Union Mills, to get the Kelly report from Miss Brenda. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you on this magnificent Monday?
I'm just glad it's Monday.
There you go.
Puts us closer to Friday.
Well, that's true. We got to have our Mondays.
Got to have a Monday.
Yeah, and get the week started, and it makes you look forward to the weekend, don't it?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You have a good weekend?
I did. I rambled around all day long with one of my daughters Saturday, and then I went to church yesterday, and we went to lunch, so
that was good.
Had a good weekend. So,
good.
So that's good. But I hope everybody's having a good day today. I've got 64 degrees on the front porch. I don't have but one birthday, and that's Caleb Gaddy. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries on around here, but we do have the community club meeting tonight, and that's at 6 this afternoon at the Union Mills Clubhouse. And then Nanny Clan reunion Sunday, August the 19th, 12:30 p.m., Round Hill Baptist Church Fellowship Hall, Union Mills. Cover dish luncheon, business and history program after lunch. History program will be about the Shadrach Nanny estate, and we'll center around research that Diane Nanny has done about his property, deeds, will, and such. Anyone interested in the Nanny family ancestry is welcome to attend. And then the First Baptist Church in Rollerton is taking a bus trip to Kentucky to see the Ark. They'll leave on September the 17th at 7 a.m. at the First Baptist Church, be back on the 19th. If you would like to go, you can contact Bob Smith at 288-0831 or 289-6501. And other than that, I don't have nothing. It's just short, sweet, and quiet up here.
All right.
So looking forward to a good day.
I like the weather forecast for this week.
A lot better than it has been, I'll tell you.
Oh, boy. It really is.
So your grass is high, huh?
My grass is high, yeah.
You need to get in touch with Channel 13 and see who's got them little goats and just see if they won't truck them up and bring them down here.
Boy, I need some goats, I'll tell you.
And I'll come and sit and watch them.
They could probably tear into that really quick, too.
I guarantee you, they can. They can get rid of some weeds and vines and such as that in no time flat, that's for sure.
Well, listen, you have a wonderful day up there.
You have a good one, and we'll catch you later.
Thanks, Brenda. Bye. Brenda Keller reporting out of Union Mills this morning is 7:40.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
It's time for you to test drive the affordable, fuel-efficient Ford Fusion from Sisk Family Ford in Forest City. Family-owned Sisk Ford can put you into the car you want with a payment plan you can appreciate. If it's a truck you want, get the Ford truck that's breaking records in sales. Ask about why the sales department is being bragged on with each and every sale that they make. They love your business at Sisk Family Ford, and it shows. New and used automobiles and an award-winning service department makes Sisk Family Ford the choice for so many. Step up to Ford today. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
One of our proud locally owned, locally run businesses is Drop-In Food Stores. They've been serving Rutherford County with 37 years of quality service and fully stocked aisles, great selection of merchandise, and super clean stores to shop in. Stop in to Drop-In anytime and enjoy a Major Lee's Triple Play meal deal. 1 chicken strip, 2 hot wings, and 3 potato wedges, now only $1.99. Regular price is $4.19. That's this month's special. This offer now until August 31st, so don't miss out on this great deal. You must take advantage of it now. If you get hungry pangs going, drop it over to Drop-In. They also offer junior slushies, only 99 cents. Fountain drinks are 99 cents, and for real milkshakes, only $2.99. You get to watch that milkshake being made. Try that out. Hot nights, cool ideas, the Drop-In, and Major Lee's Majorly Good Chicken. Come on, Drop-In. Now we're checking in over at Ellenboro, and you got Luther Gilligan on the phone to give us an update from what's happening over there. Luther, good morning.
Good morning. Pleased to be downtown Ellenboro.
Well, I like coming to
for the information. This is the place to be. We have a good time here today. It's Monday again. We get to go back to work. We laid around all day yesterday and did nothing. Boy, we're glad it's Monday again. We had a quiet weekend. There wasn't a whole lot going on. The city fire department had 2 medical calls. Other than that, wasn't anything going on there. Wasn't a whole lot of excitement. We just got through the weekend. And now we go back to work, get back in the groove all over again. Let's see, want to remind everybody the yard sale thing coming up this coming Saturday from 8 to 12 over here at the Women's Club. That's out here at the stoplight between 74 and North Green Street. Then we're having part of the aisle from Miss Rachel Crow Bradley's estate out there for sale, so everyone's invited to come by and check that out. And let's see, we want to wish happy birthday to Sarah Callahan and Chris Toms. They're having birthday today, so hope those two have a great day and enjoy their day. And nothing else going on down here again. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. Have a good day.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye. It's time for birthdays and anniversaries for this 13th day of August, August 13th. Call yours in to us now, and we'll have a drawing in just a few moments and give away some Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. 287-3356 is the phone number to call your birthdays and anniversaries. Keep Todd busy out there. Call those birthdays in right now.
43 years experience behind the name, voted best of best 8 years. That's why folks depend on Hutchins Pest Control. You can call on Tim and his team for moisture control, waterproofing, mold remediation, air quality control, dehumidification, and of course, pest control, rats, fire ants, termites, wildlife removal, and so much more. Call them today for your free estimate. 287-5171. Get the job done by the professionals and relax. Hutchins Pest Control, honest, dependable, and on-time service.
If you've been thinking about doing some kitchen and bath remodeling in your house, stop by and see Shauna Martin or Steve Marshall for your kitchen and bath ideas. You get a free consultation, so let them bring your remodel ideas or your new construction dreams into a reality. They have a beautiful showroom with a huge selection of cabinet and countertop samples and 2 full-size kitchens to get your ideas on a roll. With over 35 years of combined experience, Shanna and Steve can help you through every step of the way. Stop by and see them at Henson's Building Material. You'll be surprised and glad you did stop by for sure. Duke Street in Forest City.
Get ready for those hot summer months driving with a stop at RS Speedy Lube, Railroad Avenue. The Express Inspection Station gets you back on the road and keeps you legal. Speedy Lube has 2 lanes to serve you, gets you in and out in no time, and vacuum your car while the oil is being changed, air conditioner checked, transmission flushed, wiper blades replaced if needed, even a top-of-the-line car wash, all at RS Speedy Lube and Inspection Station, Railroad Avenue in Ruth. Take care of that car and have a safe trip.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, happy birthday to Martha Hauser up in Golden Valley. She's the one we've been kind to today. Also want to wish happy birthday greetings to Bailey McGinnis, 16, Anna and Matthew Murray, twins in Mooresboro. Abigail Newton is 5 over in Ellenboro. Bobby Whitmire of Forest City is having a birthday. And Pastor R.L. and Loretta Jeffries, it's their 8th year anniversary, so congratulations to them. Also, happy birthday wishes going out to Caleb Gaddy. So happy birthday and happy anniversary to all of you. And one of you is going to win some donuts from Granny B's, and that's coming right up.
There is a lighthouse in Maine that flashes the message, I love you, in nautical code to the ships out at sea. It's been a cheerful message to sailors for many years. When the Coast Guard tried to update the lighthouse with more sophisticated technical equipment that couldn't send the love message, they encountered great opposition. They had to revert back to the old machinery with its comforting, I love you signal. These 3 little words have a great big meaning. We cherish them in our hearts and review them in our minds over and over again. These words linger weeks, months, and even years after they have been spoken. We need to be careful when we say I love you. We must use the phrase wisely like the rich treasure that it is. Use it truthfully and sincerely. Unfortunately, in today's world, I love you has been misused for selfish purposes to the point where we become suspicious of the phrase. Let's make a conscious effort to clean the world's tarnish off I love you and start using it with deep felt affection and sincerity. Let's focus not on just saying it verbally, but backing it up with our actions. James wrote in the Bible that faith without works is dead. I'd like to paraphrase that and say that the words, I love you, without supportive actions are also dead. Let love live today with our words and our actions. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
And congratulations to Abigail Newton of Ellenboro. Abigail is 5, and she just won some donuts from Granny B's, and they're delicious donuts. I was over there the other day, and I saw folks buying those donuts by leaps and bounds, and they were really, really good stuff. Abigail Newton, our winner today. Stop by over here, and we'll have that certificate ready for you. Now, let's see, coming up next hour, we'll find out where some job opportunities are. We'll have Terry Thomas on the radio to talk about those jobs and where they are and how much they pay. Give you a chance to find some information on how to go to work and be a contributing member of our society. 8:30 this morning, be Word of Faith back in, or Word of Faith responds. 8:30 right here live in our studios at WCAB.
We all get friends. That's why I repeat for your love. Oh, I would do anything. Oh, I would do anything for your kiss.
Love, soft as an easy chair. Love, fresh as the morning air. Warm, love that is shared by two. I have found with you, like a rose under the April snow. I was always certain love would grow. Love, ageless and evergreen, seldom seen by two. You and I will make each night a first, and every day a beginning. Spirits rise and their dance is unrehearsed, warm and excited, 'cause we have the brightest love. Two lights that shine as one. Morning glory and midnight sun. Time we've learned to sail above. Time will change the meaning of one love, ageless and ever green.
So don't quit now. See you at graduation.
Do you have 26 seconds to convince a student to stay at their desk? Now you can share your message of support at boostup.org. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
According to EarthquakeTrack.com, a 2.4 magnitude quake hit the area near Blowing Rock yesterday. No one was injured, no damage reported. A new look at Google services on iPhones and Android devices has raised some key privacy questions.
You may have thought you've set your privacy settings to block Google from tracking your location, but an AP investigation has found that many Google services on smartphones store your location data without your consent. Maps and Weather are among the apps that log your location on a timeline. Some 2 billion devices that run Google's Android operating software are affected, as well as hundreds of millions of worldwide iPhone users who use Google for navigation or searches. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
North Carolina continues to litigate the voting district lines drawn following the 2010 census. The League of Women Voters has studied recent legislation to prevent gerrymandering in 15 states for possible solutions, is now offering results to North Carolina lawmakers. Jennifer Brimmer with the League says,
the legislature is very rarely eliminated from the process entirely. What are the options that would keep the legislature still having a significant role, but at the same time create a much better process that's more open and that is based on using a commission?
Turkey's currency continues to fall. Reporter Celine Garrett has more.
There is high inflation in Turkey, over 15%. There is high unemployment here in Turkey. And there is a huge current account deficit. And the markets were expecting for a while interest rate hikes to stop the inflation, to curb the inflation, but that hasn't been coming. And central bank today made announcements, talked about a few measures, but it came short of announcing interest rate hikes.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Today's hits and yesterday's memories, WCAB Rutherfordton.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. New audio out this morning from fired Trump advisor Omarosa Manigault-Newman. Speaking to NBC, she says she talked to the president the day after she was fired and recorded this.
Nobody even told me about it. Nobody. You know, they run a big operation, but I didn't know it. I didn't know that.
This coming after she went public with a recording she says was made in the White House Situation Room. Here's ABC's Arlette Saenz.
White House officials are exploring legal options to stop former White House staffer Omarosa Manigault Newman from releasing more tapes and to punish her for secretly recording her conversation with Chief of Staff John Kelly. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders described Manigault Newman as a disgruntled former White House employee.
It's back to court today in the trial of former Trump campaign chair Paul Manafort. Prosecutors are expected to rest. Here's ABC legal analyst Royal Oakes.
As the defense prepares to take its turn, the big question is whether the withering cross of the government's star witness, Rick Gates, did enough damage to allow Manafort's case to be short and sweet. If not, Manafort may think he needs to gamble with his freedom and testify.
North and South Korea now say they have agreed to a summit in Pyongyang in September. The flight data recorder pulled from the plane stolen in Seattle and crashed near the airport there is now on its way to be analyzed. Here's ABC's Alex Stone.
As Horizon Air baggage handler, Richard Russell carried out dives, flips, and barrel rolls in the skies above the Seattle area. He was talking to air traffic control, even making jokes.
Hey, you think if I land this successfully, Alaska will give me a job as a pilot?
Then the plane crashed into a remote area of an island. Over the weekend, the NTSB recovered the charred flight data recorder.
Congressman Keith Ellison is now denying accusations from an ex-girlfriend who says he physically and emotionally abused her. She says he sent her harassing texts and dragged her off a bed. Head football coach of the University of Maryland has been placed on leave as the school investigates the death of a player. You're listening to ABC News.
Oil and gas investments involve a high degree of risk and are suitable only for qualified SEC-accredited investors. With tensions in the Middle East and the U.S. global economy experiencing record growth, the demand for crude oil continues to soar. If you're an accredited investor and looking to invest at least $100,000, you can take advantage of these rising oil prices. It's time to consider selling some of your stocks and turning those profits from the market into an approved tax savings. Call Encore now and learn how you can deduct 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Encore Energy is drilling in an area that's potentially one of the most prolific horizontal oil plays in the eastern U.S. Invest in oil and create big tax write-offs for this year. Call 800-833-7944. If you're a high net worth SEC accredited investor who's interested in participating directly with a proven operator, then call Encore Energy to find out more about this unique opportunity to save taxes and generate money for your future. That's 800-833-7944. 800-833-7944.
Firefighters in California are starting to gain ground on some of the big wildfires. The Mendocino fire, the biggest in state history, is now over 60% contained. And parts of Yosemite National Park, closed for more than 2 weeks because of fires, are starting to reopen today. In Texas, the problem is rain, a lot of it, all at once.
A long dry spell west of San Antonio ended with an 8-inch downpour that turned the normally placid Nueces River into a monster. Uvalde Assistant City Manager Joe Cardenas says visitors to Chalk Bluff River Resort were in trouble.
They called 911. Apparently they were told to go to higher grounds or climb up a tree, and I understand that that's what they did.
Until help arrived from the same place the danger had come, the air. 27 people were rescued, none with serious injuries. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
More questions today about a candidate for Florida's legislature who may have lied about her education.
A Florida Republican candidate. She's running for her seat in the primaries there at the Florida State House. And there's a photo that's emerged. And why this photo is interesting is because she claims that she graduated from the Miami University of Ohio. But it turns out that the University of Ohio says, no, she didn't. She had posted this photo with a diploma. Now the university is saying that diploma is a total fake.
That's ABC's Gio Benitez. This is ABC News.
Don't sleep on today. There's a world to conquer. Don't sleep on yesterday. No need to dwell on the past. Sleep on tomorrow, the highest rated mattress on the internet. Tomorrow Sleep products are designed by the world's leading sleep experts for deep, uninterrupted sleep. Want to stay cool on warm summer nights? Try the internet's highest rated hybrid mattress now and save $125. Visit tomorrowsleep.com and use code AWAKE3 at checkout.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Hey, what in the world are you eating?
A donut.
A donut? What's in it?
Ice cream.
Ice cream in a donut? What's it called?
What's it called? An ice cream stuffed donut. Duh.
Well, where'd you get it?
Jesse James Railroad Express.
Jesse James Railroad Express. Now, where in the world is that?
That's at 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Let's go get one, folks.
We'll have some areas of low cloudiness and a few pockets of fog early on today. Otherwise, we'll look for partly to mostly sunny skies developing, and we'll run a little less humid than the last day or two. We have just a slight chance of a late-day thunder shower. A lot of places dry, with highs about 82 to 88. Tonight will be mostly fair and mild, with lows in the mid to upper 60s. Then on Tuesday, more sun than clouds, a little bit warmer, but not real humid. Highs tomorrow around 85 to 90. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Currently it's 68 degrees, sunny skies out there. It's going to be a beautiful day in the neighborhood, it looks like today. Highs getting up around 87. Only a slight chance of an afternoon precipitation. Nothing tonight. Mostly clear tonight. Lows around about where we are right now, 66 degrees. Tomorrow mostly sunny. Highs around 88. We got several days with no rain in the forecast whatsoever. Coming up on Thursday, only a slight chance on Thursday and Friday. And even Saturday, only a 30% chance, and those will probably be afternoon showers. So let's enjoy the week without so much rain. Maybe we can get our outside work done. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to check in with Terry Thomas. By the way, congratulations to Abigail Newton of Ellenboro. She's 5 years old, and she won the Daylight Donuts this morning from the drawing. And we're being kind to Martha Hauser, who lives up in Golden Valley. She's also retired. She is retired. Abigail's not retired. She's only 5. Monday mornings, we like to check in with Terry Thomas to find out where some job opportunities are. And Terry is on the phone with me right now to give us that update. Terry, how you doing this morning?
Just fine, and you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Tell us where some jobs are for us.
Okay. We are going to start in the Forest City area. We have a construction and safety facilitator position for a data center. This requires a bachelor's degree and at least 4 years experience, and the pay depends upon experience. We have a housekeeping aide in the Forest City area. This requires 1 year experience, and pay depends upon experience. We also have a financial services representative for a credit union. This requires a high school diploma and a GED, and this job pays $30,000 a year. And we also have a support analyst for IT equipment in the Forest City area. This requires a bachelor's degree and at least 1 year experience, and the pay ranges from $10 to $20 an hour depending upon experience. Over in the Spindle area, we have a front desk clerk for a hotel. This requires a high school diploma and at least 1 year front desk clerk experience or customer service, and the pay is $8 an hour. We have a healthcare customer service representative for a call center. This requires a high school diploma and at least 1 year of customer service, and this job pays $10 an hour. Still in the Spindle area, we have an income maintenance caseworker 3 position. This requires a high school diploma and at least 3 years experience, and it pays $33,600 a year. And we also have a social worker for the Spindle area. This requires 4 years experience, a bachelor's degree, and it pays $42,000 a year. Over in the Columbus area, we have a planning administrator. This requires a bachelor's degree and at least 3 years experience, and the pay ranges from $29,000 a year up to $37,000 a year, depending upon experience. And in the Rutherfordton area, we have a zero-turn mower operator. This is a part-time position. You must have at least 6 months' experience operating a zero-turn lawnmower, and this job pays from $8 to $10 an hour. And these are just a few of the jobs that we have available at the Rutherford County NC Works Career Center. We are located at 223 Charlotte Road, Rutherfordton. For more information or these or other positions, you can call us at 286-3042, or you can go on our website at www.ncworks.gov.
Terry, thank you so much for that report. I hope you have a great Monday and a good week.
You too.
Thanks. Terry Thomas reporting in this morning from the job office over there. 10 minutes now past 8 o'clock. Go get those jobs, folks. They're out there for you. We have news from here and there coming up right after. Well, let's do that first. Let's have this news story first. No charges have been filed in the shooting death. DA's office ruled justified homicide. Lou Gillum has that report for us here this morning, along with the shooting from McDowell County.
AM 59 WCAB Rutherfordton. I'm Lou Gillum with an update on the shooting incident on Lakeview Drive. On August 8, 2018 at 12:11 a.m., the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office Communications Center received a 911 call about a shooting at 175 Lakeview Drive in Forest City. When deputies arrived on the scene, they located a deceased 46-year-old male in the residence with 2 gunshot wounds. Detectives with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office arrived at the scene shortly thereafter and began the investigation. In addition to the deceased male, the other residents of the house were Chandra Neerman, the deceased male's girlfriend, as well as Neerman's 12-year-old son and her 2 daughters, ages 15 and 16. All 5 had recently moved to the area from Indiana. The investigation determined that on the night of August the 8th, the deceased male attacked Neerman and was assaulting and strangling her. During the assault, the deceased male was yelling that he was going to cut Neerman's throat and kill everyone in the house. Neerman's 12-year-old son retrieved a firearm, and Neerman's 15-year-old daughter took the gun from her brother and fired it twice, striking the deceased male in the chest. One of the fired rounds fragmented, grazing Neerman's 16-year-old daughter in the leg. The 16-year-old was taken to Spartanburg Regional Hospital, later released on Thursday. Neerman suffered significant bruises and contusions from the assault. The investigation also revealed that the deceased male had threatened Neerman several times previously, and on Saturday, August the 4th, had assaulted Neerman and fired multiple rounds from a firearm inside the residence to threaten and terrorize Neerman. The investigation further revealed that the deceased male, who had multiple firearms in the house and frequently carried one on his person, was a convicted felon and had 2 active domestic violence protective orders against him from 2 different women in Indiana and Ohio, although no domestic violence or assaults had been reported to law enforcement locally prior to the fatal shooting. The deceased male has been positively identified as Stephen Kelly, originally from Indiana. On August 10th, Lieutenant Jamie Keever presented the case to District Attorney Ted Bell, Assistant District Attorney David Norris, and Assistant District Attorney Ken Swab. Based on the facts and the evidence, it is the conclusion of the District Attorney's Office that the shooting was justified and no charges will be filed. In another incident in McDowell County, parents are facing manslaughter charges after a son's friend accidentally kills himself. Detective Paul Akir of the McDowell County Sheriff's Office charged 50-year-old Kimberly Cable and 46-year-old Roger Dale Cable, both of 86 Reed Street in Marion, with involuntary manslaughter and failure to store a firearm to protect a minor. In the early morning hours of Friday, July the 27th, Kyle Storm Lee, age 16, of 97 Dusty Arch Drive in Marion, was at the Cable home on Reed Street visiting the couple's son. Lee was playing around with a .44 caliber revolver that belonged to the Cables and fatally shot himself in the head. There were numerous guns in the house, said Alkir. The juveniles had easy access to the guns, which was negligent on the suspect's part, and that led to a death. That, according to the report. Other than the access to the firearm, no additional foul play is suspected in Lee's death. For WCAB News, I'm Lou Gillum.
Thanks very much, Lou, for that report. It's 14 past 8 o'clock. Other news, there's still a lot of misunderstanding about the resignation of Headmaster Joe Maimone at Thomas Jefferson in response to a disgruntled and confused school community regarding the abrupt resignation of Joe Maimone. Headmaster of Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy, the TJCA Board of Directors chair, reached out to parents and staff with a message this past week. Chairman Ray Maxwell sent the message on to families and staff on behalf of the Board of Directors. He said, quote, "While we regret the resignation of our headmaster and understand that families and teachers were surprised to hear this news, Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy, CFA, has strong, talented, and capable staff in place to carry on the wonderful work of our teachers and students." Maimone's resignation was announced Tuesday, August 7th, in a press release prior to the TJCA Board's regular monthly meeting. Maimone, who routinely delivered reports to the TJCA board during monthly business meetings, was not present. Neither he nor his resignation were mentioned by the board, nor was the matter listed on the meeting agenda. Regarding Maimone's resignation, Maxwell stated it was unfortunate that this happened, and especially that it happened so close to the beginning of a new school year. However, we will be open for school next week, and we remain committed to the strong classical education experience and academic excellence that TJCA CFA has always provided for our students, he said. The 2018-19 school year will begin on Thursday, August 16th. There's a lot of families, a lot of parents are still bothered by the fact of how they handle that situation. Pam Jones, chairperson of the TJCA Forum, addressed the board, stating her phone has been red hot with concerned calls from parents. There are parents that are very upset, and you know that. You knew that we were going to be upset. I've been at this school for many years, and we've worked really hard for this school, but these parents deserve an explanation. And I know you're not going to give it to us, but I have to speak on behalf of these parents that everybody is very upset. If you think there's a lot of people happy, they're not. They're not happy with you guys. They're not happy with the direction we're going because it's scary. Jones's comments were met with applause from audience members, and the board did not comment on her remarks. Throughout social media, there also has been discussion on the matter. So that still is not still a lot of upset folks over that particular situation. Meanwhile, Upstate.com is reporting that a Gaffney woman accused of stealing an ambulance from Mary Black Hospital has been arrested. Deputies from the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office responded at 8:05 a.m. Friday to 145 Medical Center Drive, Gaffney, for a report of a motor vehicle theft of an ambulance, according to a statement from Cherokee County Sheriff Steve Mueller. The suspect, later identified as 20-year-old Chelsea Janes Wiley, walked up to the hospital's ambulance headquarters and asked the driver in the ambulance for a ride. According to the statement, the driver told Wiley he could not give a ride, but would check inside the hospital to see if someone could help her. As the driver got out of the ambulance, deputy said, Wiley got into the vehicle and drove off. As the ambulance sped away, it struck wooden decking, damaging that vehicle. The ambulance was equipped with GPS, allowing ambulance staff to track its movement. During the drive, investigators said Wiley threw the GPS unit out the window. Deputies tracked the ambulance on Interstate 85 and contacted law enforcement in North Carolina to help track the vehicle as it crossed the state line. According to Mueller's statement, Wiley drove the ambulance back toward South Carolina. The ambulance was stopped by deputies at an off-ramp at exit 106. Wiley was taken into custody and booked into Cherokee County Jail. She was charged with larceny, grand larceny valued at more than $10,000, malicious damage to property more than $2,000, but less than $10,000, and malicious damage to property less than $2,000. Last week, Philweed's mother, Kimberly Pruitt, told the Herald-Journal she had last seen her son July 21st. It seems strange that ambulance driver would leave the keys in the ambulance and go inside, and somebody strange just walked up and said, "Can you give me a ride?" While he would leave that thing running probably too, but who knows. Meanwhile, a heads up for those of you who travel to the coastline of South Carolina, the Isles of Palm particularly. Lifeguards at the Isle of Palm County Park confirmed they responded to 265 jellyfish stings on Saturday. On Friday, officials say they responded to 41 jellyfish stings. Laura Edwards with the Isle of Palm County Park says the spike in stings is common during August when waters rise in temperatures. There have been several man-of-war sightings on low country beaches over the past couple of weeks, but there have been no reported stings at the Isle of Palm County Park this weekend. One Portuguese man-of-war washed ashore at Folly Beach during the past year. That's a lot of stings, isn't it? Mercy. 19 past 8 o'clock. We'll have the Sheriff's Report with Deputy Walker coming up in just a moment. Have you heard the 3 big lies about Medicaid eligibility? First, if you need a nursing home, Medicaid will take your house. That's not true. Second, if you transfer assets, you have to wait 60 months to qualify. That's not true. And third, if you're already in a nursing home, it's too late to protect your assets. That's not true. Please call attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Ken Paulman, or Martin Gerard at the Arledge Law Firm for a free consultation and learn the truth about Medicaid and eligibility and nursing home care in North Carolina. It's more likely than you think that you may qualify and not lose everything you own. Call the Arledge Law Firm today at 287-3338, located on East Court Street in Rutherford. Again, that's 287-3338.
Hello, this is Dwayne Hunt with Insurance Service Associates. Are you on disability? Or maybe you're on Medicare? Or maybe both? Come see me, Dwayne Hunt, at Insurance Service Associates about a Medicare Advantage product brought to you by Humana. Please give me a call, 245-5301, at Insurance Service Associates, 127 East Trade Street, Forest City.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325.
Hey, this is Brittany from the gift shop at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. Come see me for all your vacation needs, including sunscreen, sun hats, sunglasses, bug spray, and stylish summer clothing. I'm excited to tell you we have new summer sandals and booties. See you soon.
Congratulations to Abigail Newton of Ellenboro. She's 5 years old, and she just got herself some daylight donuts from Grady B's this morning by being the elected person whose name is drawn. And we're being kind to Martha Hauser, who lives up in Golden Valley. This is her birthday, Monday, August 13th. Now here is Deputy Walker with our Sheriff's Report.
On the last 48 hours, the Sheriff's Office responded to 271 calls for service. 15 arrests were made, and jail currently housing 197 individuals. Starting with incident and investigation reports, Edwin Richardson reported a misdemeanor larceny. Jacob Edgerton reported an assault by pointing a gun. Aaron Stewart reported financial card fraud. Melissa Day reported a misdemeanor larceny. And Charles Alley reported a misdemeanor larceny. I only have 2 arrest reports to read, and that is Ishmael Trejo was arrested for assault on a female, and Yvonne Dimsdale reported was arrested for misuse of 911 system and communicating threats. And that's all, sir.
Got an update on sports coming up next, and then Word of Faith speaks out at 8:30 right here live in our studios.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Brooks Koepka played mistake-free golf down the stretch and won his first PGA championship at Bella Reef Country Club in St. Louis. The U.S. Open champion closed with a 4-under 66 for a 16-under tournament total, 3 shots clear of Adam Scott and 2 ahead of Tiger Woods, who capped a 6-under 64 with a long birdie putt on 18. Woods said while he had trouble off the tee all day, Koepka's game was all around sharp.
He put it all together. He didn't just have the driving, he had the iron game, he had the putting, and ended up winning the tournament.
After being injured earlier this year and missing the Masters, he said he never envisioned winning the U.S. Open and the PGA Championship in the same season.
It's incredible. Looking where I was watching the Masters, to think I would do this, I would have laughed at you.
Kevin Harvick beat Brad Keselowski to the finish line by more than 3 seconds at Michigan International to earn his NASCAR high 7th win of the season. Kyle Busch, who started Sunday with the points lead, finished 3rd, followed by Austin Dillon and Ryan Blaney. NC State football held its media chit-chat on Sunday. Pack head coach Dave Doran was asked about how the team is focusing on the season as returning starting quarterback Ryan Finley and junior wideout Kelvin Harmon are poised to be potential first-round picks in next year's NFL draft.
We talk a lot about blocking distractions and ignoring a hype. It's one of the things anytime these guys get on a watch list, I congratulate them, but also remind them they don't win anything for being on a watch list.
Elsewhere, the fallout continues in College Park following the death of a Maryland offensive lineman, Jordan McNair, who died 2 weeks after he was hospitalized on May 29th. The Terps announced over the weekend head coach DJ Durkin has been placed on leave while the school reviews allegations of unacceptable behavior by Durkin and his staff. The move comes a day after an ESPN story which quoted unidentified players, former players, and former Durkin staff members who accused the head coach and strength and conditioning coach Rick Court of verbally abusing and humiliating players in workouts. This is NCN Sports.
This Fraud Watch Alert is brought to you by AARP North Carolina. Recently, sham veterans charities are bilking patriotic donors out of millions of dollars. North Carolina fraud fighters urge you to donate wisely. Before you give, visit ncsos.gov to make sure a charity that claims to support veterans and military families is licensed and legitimate. Learn more about charity scams and other cons by signing up for free AARP Watchdog Alerts at aarp.org/NC Protect.
Darlington Raceway. This is tradition.
The white flag flies for Bobby Allison.
This is iconic.
Petty appears to be smoking, and Gale now is pulling away.
This is legendary.
Truex is at the wall, and it's Hamlin going to the lead.
Come celebrate 7 decades of NASCAR at Darlington Raceway this Labor Day weekend. Purchase your tickets today by calling 866-459-RACE or visit darlingtonraceway.com.
South Carolina is just right.
A numbskull Steelers fan wearing 43 and looking nothing like Troy Polamalu showed up at the Steelers' open practice Saturday and somehow got onto the field. He apparently wanted to cover Antonio Brown, which is a little impressive, but mostly hilarious, especially to Brown.
That boy say he embarrassing himself or not. He wanna check me. Let him check me real quick.
It's not known how the fan made it past security, but real players quickly noticed the imposter wearing Polamalu's number 43, which the Steelers have not issued to any player since he retired after the 2014 season.
Busted.
Busted it did.
Busted.
The Jacksonville Jaguars suspended all-pro corner Jalen Ramsey and defensive end Dante Tyler on Sunday for violating team rules and conduct on becoming of a football player. It stemmed from fights at Sunday's practice. Neither will make the trip to Minnesota for this week's preseason game against the Vikings. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We'll have some areas of low cloudiness and a few pockets of fog early on today. Otherwise, we'll look for partly to mostly sunny skies developing, and we'll run a little less humid than the last day or two. We have just a slight chance of a late-day thunder shower. A lot of places dry, with highs about 82 to 88. Tonight will be mostly fair and mild, with lows in the mid to upper 60s. Then on Tuesday, more sun than clouds, a little bit warmer, but not real humid. Highs tomorrow around 85 to 90. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
69 degrees here in Rutherfordton. Beautiful, great getting up morning here in the foothills. 69 degrees, warming up to about 87 for a daytime high, and the rain's going to be away from us for a period of time, it looks like. Get a chance to cut a little grass, perhaps. This is WCAB, 100.9 FM, 590 AM. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
Good morning. It's so good to be with you today in the beautiful Blue Room at WCAB. We're excited. This is Carol Reynolds with Word of Faith Fellowship, and with me today is Zita Cornelius. And you're going to hear her testimony. The Bible says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And it's been an honor for our members to come to you each week and share their lives, share their hearts, open their life to you as a testimony of Jesus Christ. At the Word of Faith Fellowship, Pastor Sam and Jane Whaley, we are not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And it's such a blessing to come to the studio and be able to just give you the word of life and let you know what happened in the lives of members at the Word of Faith Fellowship. We started this to come on the air and talk about the outrageous media allegations against us, the persecution that's gone on against the Word of Faith for now over 30 years. Decade by decade, year by year, the persecution that we've experienced, the lies that have been told about the church, and we wanted to come on the air and let you know what the truth is about the church. And what better way for you to hear about it than from the lives of the members that have attended the Word of Faith. A lot of them that have been on the air have been to the church in more recent years. Some have been here 30 plus years at the church. And you get to hear what's going on in their life, why they came to the Word of Faith Fellowship, but what the gospel of Jesus Christ has done in their lives. And it has been absolutely amazing to listen and hear the goodness of God, stories, testimonies of hope, testimonies of life, where people came from all different walks of life, different parts of the United States, different nations of the world. And they were led by God to the Word of Faith Fellowship. And you've heard the details of their life and what happened to them when they got there and what they're doing today. So today you're going to hear the details of a young lady who started very young in her life in search for God and what happened to her. So she will share with you today how she came to the Word of Faith and what happened in Zita's life when she heard the gospel of Jesus Christ. Zita, tell our listeners.
Well, thank you, Jim, for having me today. It's such a privilege to be here. I guess I grew up in West Virginia and then moved to Virginia. I mostly was with my mom and my two brothers. My older brother 6 years older. My younger brother's 3 years younger. My dad was gone a lot from the military, and but when he was home, there was a lot of physical abuse with him. So I had a hard time with that. I never was able to tell anybody about that. I think it shut me down a lot, and I don't remember a lot of my childhood as far as the younger years.
You knew what abuse was, Zita, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you know, that's been an accusation that has been at our church. And we've had other members of our church come on the air and say, I know what abuse is. I was abused as a child or went through things. And I knew that was a painful time of your life. And I remember you telling me it was a lot of years before you ever even mentioned it or talked about it.
I don't think I talked about it till I came here. And I had people I could open my heart up to, which is something people don't realize is such a blessing. And they attack us for that. And it really, I mean, God did so much in my life when I came here. But I want to go back as far as growing up. So out of that place, when I was in high school, I always tried to find a way to get away from home. So I ended up in a relationship with someone that was older. I mean, not a lot older, but older than me. I was in high school still and got engaged. I was with him for 3 years, but then that relationship was abusive too. And it just seems like that's the path you go down when that's what's in your life. And so out of that relationship, I decided to go to college right out of high school. And once I got to college, I drove back and forth for a few years, and I did really good. I got straight A's. But then once I moved away from home because I wanted to get away from that relationship, and then once I got it to college, then it got worse. Then the partying, then the drinking, then all kinds of relationships. And it's like this path the devil has for your life to destroy you. I mean, really, I had no idea what the purpose of God was for my life. But God had his hand on me. I mean, he had a purpose for me because I always had in my heart. I never went to church growing up, for one. But yet I was always going to visit a church. Somewhere, somehow, I wanted to go to a church, but I never heard about Jesus. I never heard about being forgiven. I never heard the gospel. And then I remember one time in college, because my life was really bad, I ended up quitting for a year. And that's when I started to hear about Jesus. But I'm trying to remember where I was at there.
Well, you mentioned to me that in college your life just took the absolute wrong direction. And that's when you began to seek and Jesus began to lead you and guide you. You began to hear the voice of God about your life.
Right. So I never went to church. Growing up, my parents never raised me that way. I never read the Bible. The only Bible I had was a Methodist Bible. I had my name in it, so I always said I was Methodist. But that's all I knew was that. Literally, I watched television, I listened to music all the time, and that's how I filled that void, going out, being with people. But there was no fulfillment. There was no place I felt love. And so there's got to be more. And I was like, what is my purpose in life, God? What? Even though I didn't even know God, it was like there was this cry in me, like, what is my purpose? Because I just was lost. So I remember even in college, I went to a church there, and I was just like, this is not it. This is not it. And I just left. And so when I quit college for a year, I'd already gone 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I just couldn't think. I couldn't concentrate. I knew God did that for me because it was a time that a friend of mine came to visit with her husband and another friend, and he was a backslidden Christian. And I asked them, can you tell me about God? Can you tell me about Jesus? And he started telling me that I could be forgiven for my sins and things I had never heard before. And that moment changed my life. Because after they left, I quit school. I quit my job. I quit everything. I stopped listening to the music I listened to. I threw away everything I had that was wrong. Because I was involved in a lot of witchcraft, just from what I saw on television. I was always seeking something. But, you play around with games like the Ouija board and things like that. And I didn't think nothing of it at the time. You think you're just searching. You're just, there's nothing real about it. And you start getting more involved and more involved. But when I came to Jesus, I started reading the Bible. I bought a Bible and I started reading it every day. Every day I just set everything aside. That's all I could do. Because this was something I had never heard of, and I wanted more. I wanted to change in my life. Because I always grew up believing that you are the way you are once, that's just how you are, and you'll never change. And so that was like the best hope I had ever heard was you can be forgiven and you can change. So there was hope in my life. I remember gathering trash bags full of stuff, huge black trash bags. I threw away clothes, I threw away music, I stopped watching television. Everything I knew that was affected my life, that made me the way I was. Because I knew that the music I listened to affected me. Everything. I knew the college I went to affected me. I knew the people I hung around affected me. I stopped going to bars, but you would not believe the moment I did that, how many people tried to call me out of the woodwork and want me to go out. And I was like, no, I can't. No, and I never wanted to go back to that life anymore. I found a new way of living. And I was so excited, but...
And Zita, some people think that witchcraft and Ouija boards and all of that is just a game. At the beginning of the program, Mark and I went over a lot of scriptures where the Bible teaches us to absolutely not be involved in any of those practices at all. And in the New Testament, in the book of Acts, chapter 19, it talks about those that came to Jesus, the believers. They gathered the abominable things that they were involved with in witchcraft and magic and those things, and they got rid of them. And a lot of people don't think that there's a power behind that.
That's right.
And it's an abomination to God. And it affected your life.
It did. And the first thing when I was reading my Bible, I remember God taking me to Leviticus. And he said, you're not to have anything to do with wizards or mediums or anyone with familiar spirits. And I had been going to a lady that was a fortune teller before that and became friends with her and close. And I mean, it was like God so convicted my heart, that I wanted nothing to do with it. He said, I am the Lord your God, and I'm going to be your God. And it was like everything in my life just changed. That it was literally, it was March in 1989 when this started happening. So in that process, I began crying out to God for a church, place to go, and God to change me. I mean, I had the worst mouth. I could talk like a sailor. I mean, I was full of everything. And I just cried out to God, change me. I don't want to talk this way. And it just started falling off of me. I didn't have that desire I didn't have that in me anymore to be that way. And so I know God was changing me very quickly. And so he brought me to a church in my hometown. And while I was there, I remember one morning I was eating breakfast, and God said to me, he said, I'm sending you to Bible school. And I'm sitting there eating breakfast. And I mean, it was so real. I mean, no man told me that. I mean, I'm sitting there by myself, and God was leading me. It was like being led out of Egypt. That's what it felt like, through a Red Sea. And so, I mean, it was amazing because I just took it literally. I was like, okay, where's a Bible school? And I got in my car, and I started driving around looking for a Bible school, and ended up in Maryland. I ended up looking at this one church, and I'm like, oh, this is a convent. I don't think this is where I want to be. That just wasn't the right direction. And so anyway, I came back home, and I was going to church, and there was someone there, and I told him, I said, God told me I'm going to Bible school, but I have no idea where Bible school is. He said, well, I know of a church in North Carolina I went to visit. I went to Bible school with someone there, and as soon as he said that, everything in me is like, yes, that's it. And I never heard of here. I'd never heard of Word of Faith before, but I had a knowing in my heart that that was where God was sending me. And so it was unbelievable, because when you start to get in the will of God, God has to put that strong desire in you to do that, because the devil's going to try to get you to do something different. The pastor at the church that I was in, he was excited that I had a hunger for God, and he had plans for me to be a teacher in his school and that kind of thing, but I just had to say no. And then someone else wanted to marry me, that one guy that told me about Jesus. I was like, no, I'm going to Bible school. I mean, this is the plan for my life. That's all I know. And so I called, and I told, I think it was Jane Calder on the phone. I said, God told me to come to Bible school. And so I came here, and I met Jane and Sam, and I loved it. I loved it. I was here by August, and I had just turned 22, August 24th or something, and started Bible school. And literally it was from March until August that God brought me totally out of what I was living like. But
I want to just remind the listeners of something you just said about finding hope, because we've talked in this program, you've heard from so many different people about wanting to be delivered, that they woke up one day and found themselves in sin and didn't know how to get out. And the message of hope in the gospel is just, that you can change. You can have your sins forgiven. Right. You can come out of that lifestyle. And I hope you heard what she said about being trapped in witchcraft, about being trapped in sin. And God found her way out. And that's the gospel of Jesus Christ. It is saving power. It is salvation that comes to us, and a lot of people have misunderstood that, right, and not understood that we came with, hopeless situations in our lives, and God was there to deliver. God was there. Zita's married to Dr. Mark Cornelius. He's been on the program and told his testimony, and to know them today and listen to them tell about where they came from, it's such a miracle what God did in your life. So you came here and you knew you found where you were supposed to be in the will of God. Yeah. That's what you felt in your heart.
Yeah. Well, it's just, to me, it was amazing because here I am, just 21, and usually, people growing up out there are just like, you can't wait till you're 21 because you can drink and you can go out and you can do all these things. But God spared me at that age. God brought me out of that. I don't know that I would be here today if God hadn't come to me at that time of my life, because it was really bad and it was getting worse. And I was like self-destructive, and it was nothing. There was no hope. There was no purpose in life that I felt. And so when I came here, God started restoring me. And the first thing I remember, God, even going back, first time I walked into the church in my hometown, I got to tell this, God dealt with me about forgiving my father. And I wept that whole service. And God said, how can I forgive you if you won't forgive him? And that brought so much healing to me, because that was something that was always over my head and always told me who I was and how I was. But Jesus began telling me who I was and who I was going to be. And so, even when I was reading the Bible, and I read through about in the Gospels, Jesus was telling me, I've called you to be my disciple. And I believed everything that what it said, about he could heal the sick because I was being healed. You could cast out demons. I said, well, I know the devil's real. I messed around with the devil a lot. And those powers were real. And when I came here, once I came here, I started finding out that what I gave myself to was more real than what I thought. Because that's when the devil started resisting me the most, and that's when he started making himself real to me, because he didn't want me to serve God. He didn't want me. Now, once you start giving your heart to God, there's a fight. And I had to submit my heart to God. It says, submit your heart, resist the devil, and he'll flee. Well, I had to do a lot of submitting and a lot of resisting for a long time, because I gave myself to a lot, whether it was the drinking, the drugs, the ungodliness, running around, not knowing where I was going to be the next day, the witchcraft, all that stuff let things in me, even with the Ouija board. I remember, you think you're playing around, but you're letting spirits in your life. You're talking to spirits. And one time, I don't know if it was God or not, but I remember that thing saying, you need to stop. And I go back thinking God was trying to tell me to get off of that and to stop that. God's always there drawing us. And so when I came here, I would have bad dreams where I could not wake up. Literally, I felt like demons were trying to kill me. And I knew that was where I let those devils in, and they were real. They were there. And I had to cry out to God, and I had to ask people, please pray for me, because this is real. This is, and God set me free. I don't have that anymore. I don't have those pulls to anything. Once I turned my heart to God, I don't want to go back to what I came out of. I don't want that anymore. So I'm just grateful for what God's done, and I'm trying to think what.
And it's just so wonderful, because you come to a church where people understood you. Yeah. And, our pastors, Sam and Jane, it's amazing when your pastor can talk to you and look at your life and see what God's called you to do and see the best for you. And you come to where there's hope, and you come where people know how to pray and they understand you. Yeah. And you were so young when you came, and Mark was too. And God just transformed your lives and sent Mark to medical school.
Right.
To become a doctor. And you were through that whole process with him, walking through all of that. And then he came out and passed all those exams that are just unbelievable to become a doctor.
See, when I came here and first went to Bible school, God gave us friends and people that were our age, or all of us. We all came from different backgrounds, and we all, God brought us there. And I remember one of the scriptures God gave me before I came here. He said, I'm going to give you pastors after my own heart. And that's what I found when I came here. Somebody that loved God, that loved God's people. That you can't trade that for anything. I had healing, restoration in my life, unbelievable throughout the years. And I have friends that I know that are there day and night, and I'm there day and night for them, because I want to give others what God's given me. I want to help others, you know.
And I think our listeners understand what a shock it is when, media articles go out and allegations and rumors about us being abusive or abuse at our church. And it's shocking to us because we're totally the opposite. There's no abuse at our church. And you've heard people, listeners on the program, who've told you they lived in abuse. I mean, they know what abuse is and came out of it and came into the environment of the love of God and people who love God and people who knew how to pray and believed the word of God and had hope that our lives could change. And it's shocking because there's no abuse at our church. And you and Mark, I remember watching God deliver you and bring you, and I always thought Zita got to marry her best friend.
That's true. He was my best friend. We sat there in Bible school. We worked at Mastercraft night shifts and come into Bible school. And, I mean, we wanted God. All of us, we were so hungry. We didn't want what we came out of anymore. We found life and peace and joy, and it's just, what more could you ask for?
And that's a life transformed and a marriage transformed.
Yes, I love my husband, and I'm so grateful for the Christian school. I mean, I did not want my children to go through what I had to go through. I didn't want them to be exposed to the things I had to be exposed, and the school is such a blessing. I mean, I'm just so grateful for that. Because they don't have to go through that. They have friends that love it. They love to go to school. They're happy, and I'm just so grateful for that.
So I hope the listeners heard today a message of hope and deliverance and salvation that came to Zita's life, and not just Zita's life, but her husband, and what God did when they came to the church and brought deliverance, and that's our message. Lives that have been changed. Please go to the website, wordoffaithfellowship.org. The programs on WCAB are archived with the testimonies that will touch your heart and touch your life. And we're so blessed to be with you. And we'll be back again with more testimonies of the saving power of God, and you can hear what Jesus has done in people's lives. And that's the reason we came to the airways, for you to get to know us and hear what happened in our lives. And what better way for you to hear it than out of the mouths of our members who live it, who are there in the church, have been in the church, have been in the Bible school, have been in the Christian school, children that have grown up there, adults that came there for help, and they can tell you what's going on there and what happened in their lives at the church. So we're just blessed to be able to be here today. And you heard Zita's life, how she started out on such a wrong path, and then God brought her salvation, deliverance, and I was just thinking of all the pieces of your life that came together. And now you and Mark touch so many lives and reach out to so many. And Mark is such a blessing, and so are you, Zita. We're grateful for you. So thank you for listening today. And Jim, thank you for allowing us on the airways. And now you're AM, FM. And we're grateful for the opportunity. We're grateful for the voice that's been given us through the programs. So we invite you to go to the website, listen to the programs, and we'd love to hear from you. And have a wonderful day.
Enjoy the Atlanta Braves and NASCAR here on the Foothills Most Sports Station, WCAB Rutherfordton. What makes a great radio station? Live local programming, comprehensive news, sports, updated weather forecast, talk shows, and today's hits and yesterday's memories. Come to think of it, you're listening to it. Serving the foothills of the Carolinas. This is WCAB Rutherfordton. WCAB, 24 hours a day, we're family-friendly radio.
I listen to it every day.
It's what we do between the music that sets us apart. WCAB. A lot of stations can play great music, but it's what we do between the music that sets us apart. Serving the foothills of the Carolinas. We're family-friendly radio. WCAB.
By the White House Chief of Staff in the Situation Room, former Trump aide Omarosa Manigault Newman has come forward with a recording of the president's reaction to her ouster.
I don't love you leaving at all.
This new recording given to NBC by the former aide has the president expressing surprise that Omarosa Manigault Newman had been fired. She tells NBC she's not sure if Mr. Trump was being sincere. But if he was, she says it's more evidence of how unfit he is.
John Kelly is running this White House, and Donald Trump has no clue what's going on. He's being puppeted.
Manigault Newman says she felt threatened by Kelly, calling her Situation Room sit-down false imprisonment. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
Former Vice President Al Gore and Reverend Dr. William Barber kicked off their two-day ecological justice organizing tour on Sunday in Wayne County. The duo is touring communities across the state that say they have directly been impacted by toxic waste contamination. A shooting in Concord left one person dead and two others hurt on Sunday morning. The third person shot in the shooting, identified as 31-year-old Willie Peck III, died at the hospital. Dora Delator heard the gunshots and tells WSOC News.
We don't want this happen again, because I have daughters, my grandbabies. I'm glad they wasn't here.
President Trump is encouraging Harley-Davidson owners to boycott the company if it moves manufacturing overseas to avoid tariffs. Nancy Cordes says that.
Stand up and do something about it.
South Carolina Republican Tom Rice is home for August recess.
Those tariffs are taxes on the working people.
At each of his town halls we attended, the same issue came up: trade.
If it needs to be corrected, and we all agree with that.
Authorities are searching for those responsible after a woman found her grandson shot to death inside of a home in Northeast Charlotte. You're listening to NCN News.
Will Democrats break Republican supermajorities in the North Carolina General Assembly? Will this year's election change the course of the state Supreme Court? What about all those constitutional amendments on the ballot? Carolina Journal will help you answer those questions. Available each month as a free newspaper, every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your #1 source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
Sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. An extra pair of hands, a smile, or a shoulder. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, making one simple difference in your life helps you make a big difference in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
The diplomatic row between the U.S. and NATO ally Turkey continues. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick reports from Washington.
Turkey's president said today the U.S. is stabbing Turkey in the back by imposing new sanctions, the latest salvo in a dispute over Turkey's detention of a U.S. pastor. President Erdogan said the U.S. only acts like a strategic NATO partner. The U.S. military has long used that word to describe the relationship with Turkey, which has often been rocky, as in Syria, where the U.S. believes Kurdish fighters are the best hope against ISIS, fighters Turkey accuses of supporting terrorism.
Wayne County deputies are investigating after a person was shot. They found Carl Leroy Jr. suffering from a gunshot wound over the weekend. 17-year-old was from Seven Springs and died at the scene. According to EarthquakeTrack.com, a 2.4 magnitude quake hit the area south of Blowing Rock in Caldwell County. The quake happened around 5:46 a.m. on Sunday. A 2.4 magnitude quake would be felt only in the area near the epicenter and would cause no damage. The lawyer for the family of a University